Now, you may not appreciate, or sometimes it's very difficult for an individual to appreciate what God has created, uh, because maybe their worldview or their exposure to maybe to nature, okay, the exposure to nature. Now you realize that the trees did not create themselves. You realize that mankind did not create himself. um you may be wondering to say, where is he right now? I am just in the middle of uh big farms. Yes, this is Maposa, in Luansha area, by the way. um I'm just seeing and amazed by what God has created. Now, I'll be showing you amazing things. I'll be showing you the trees. I'll be showing you the streams. If I have an opportunity to show you or to interview people, I'll definitely expose you to that. If I have a view of dogs or any other creature, I'll be able to expose you to that. But you need to understand that the book of Genesis, the Bible is exposing how God created the heavens. You know, the Bible is exposing how God created the how God created the moon, how God created the sun, how God created the stars. You know, the Bible is exposing how God created the rivers, how God created the land, how God created mankind, how God created the beasts. Okay, how God created the birds that flies, you know, how God created the creeping things. The book of Genesis, chapter number 1 and chapter number 2, exposes us to God's creation. Now, it's amazing that sometimes we do not take time to look at that. So today, I am moving with you just to see how God has created what He has created. Now you need to understand that the Bible is saying that these things that God created, they are there to reveal the mysteries of God. That's in the book of Romans. The book of Romans, chapter number 1. The Bible talks about how God created these things so that they may preach Him. Praise the name of the Lord. I don't know if I'll have an opportunity to talk to some people, but believe you me, God is worthy of the praise. God bless you. Let's go for great exposure. Okay, so beloved, I've met with amazing people. We have three gents here and young ladies. Now we are talking about the greatness of the Lord. Now I am amazed because techibe mbafe balelanda bala tulondolwera ofo bamona ofo lesa pange finto ofo lesa fibumba ndabalo shefimuti. You know, we have a lot of trees around here, and I'm going to show you how amazing it is. Nalalanda na my brother. Atibana nishi na my brother. Astin. This is brother Astin. Brother Astin. Ndetwalole shefimuti. Mumona mwenshi. Tulelanda pedi ashida kwa leso okubumbe sondele so okupange fifimuti na mwamone fifimuti finshi mumona. Fimuti. Mushe fifimuti fyayipangire fefineno lo mumona mwati kwena we winga panga fe fifimuti nilesa. Okulingana na imo. What do you think, Mr. Astin? Nilesa wapangire fifimuti ayi. Mushe mwadishiba kwa mashina alionsa afimuti, Mr. Astin? Tamwa ishiba. Do you know any tree ishina lya chimuti chili chonse? Tamwa ishiba. Namata mwa ishiba chimuti chili chonse. Kwa rivati kapeta. Okay, my sister knows one of the trees ati chimuti ishi my sister. Kapeta. Ati bana nishina? My sister Helen. Sister Helen bari shibe chimuti ati kapeta. Nombe chimuti tachaishire bakofya chaba kapeta mulando wako batilesa ali pange chimuti. Niswa chitira ati kapeta chimuti. Bukuru bwakwaresa chali kosa. Techira kontuka bwangu techikontuka bwangu. Chimoneka shani chimuti. Tumabulo tunono. Child of the living God, you need to understand that lesa apange fintu fikalamba. May God bless you. We are still exploring this land, and may God bless you. These are my brothers that I just met. Now you can just see, look at the nature. Look at the nature, how vast the nature is. You may be amazed. How did the trees come to be? You may be amazed. How God created the trees. When you look in the book of Genesis, the Bible tells us about how God said, let there be. And that creation story tells us about the greatness of God. Sure, sure. I am met with brothers. I told you earlier to say we are going to reveal the nature, but we are going also to reveal how God created mankind. And those are just my brothers that I just met. You need to understand that God created these trees. It is not the farmer who did create these trees. Praise God. You may be wondering to say, how did the seed of these trees become? It is God's mystery. It's God's power. And today, you and me, we shall look at the nature of God. Now, child of the living God, these things, they expose the wonders of God. Before man settled here, God had created the geographical location for each tribe, and they did not even know it. Do you remember in the book of Genesis when God is dispersing mankind? Do you know that that's a miracle in itself? Child of the living God, it's a miracle. Let's move and see other exposures. God bless you. Great, child of the living God. Great. Uh, we we have really moved. Believe you me, I've been moving for quite some minutes now, and I wanted to show you. Now some of us. Okay, great. Now this is a stream. I've just reached where the stream is, and you need to understand that the water is coming from this side, then the water is going this side. Now, when we're talking about God's creation, you need to understand that God designed in his wisdom that mankind should have water. You and me will agree that water is life. Without water, man cannot have life. This is what we are talking about. That is just one of the exposures that I wanted to expose you to. God bless you. We're still moving today, discussing about the nature. Hi. Look at the beauty of God's creation. Look at the beauty of God's creation. This is so beautiful. This is so wonderful. Can you see how vast the world can be? Oh, yeah. Yes. To God be the glory. Oh, by the way, I'm in Maposa, the farm, at the farm. This is wonderful. This is so beautiful. This is so beautiful. You can see how great the works of the Lord are. Praise God. Child of the living God, life will only have meaning if you know the God that created you. Life will only have meaning if you're exposed to the God that created the rivers, the trees, the oceans, the God that said, let us make man in our own image, after our own likeness. The book of Genesis, chapter number 1, the book of Genesis, chapter number 2, the book of Romans, chapter number 1, they expose to us how God created what he created so that they may reveal him. Do not harden your heart. Do not despair, but put your trust in this God. If this God can create the hills, the mountains, the rivers, meaning that he created all these things for his glory and that you may know him.